What's up, Falcons Nation? It's your boy Jew coming at you with another Atlanta Falcons video. As always, Falcons Nation, rise up. In today's video, I would like to give you guys some Atlanta Falcons news. But if you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you'll know when I've done Atlanta Falcons content. Hit that like button for your boy. I do appreciate each and every one of you guys for your continued support, continuing to share out my content on all the social media platforms. If you'd like to follow your boy on Twitter and Instagram, you can follow me at Jew Talk Sports. And if you'd like to donate to my channel, you can donate to my Cash App, which is the $ Jew Talk Sports. But with that being said, let's jump right into the video. So today in Atlanta Falcons news, the Atlanta Falcons did have their first joint practice with the Miami Dolphins today. And it was at the Miami Dolphins practice facility. And our cornerback, Clark Phillips, that we drafted out of the University of Utah, did go down with an ankle or a leg injury. He was carted off the field, which is a huge blow to our Atlanta Falcons secondary. Clark Phillips has been one of those young corners that's been balling out during training camp, and I was looking really forward to him in the preseason of possibly being one of those guys who can compete for that second cornerback position due to Jeff Okudah going down last week with an ankle injury at training camp practice. But with that being said, I am wishing Clark Phillips a speedy recovery. Of course, we'll know more in the next few days once they do an MRI to see how bad or how severe that ankle or leg injury was. Hopefully, knock on wood, it was just, a minor injury and he'll be able to return at some point during training camp or during preseason. But I am wishing him nothing but the best in his recovery. Also, today at training camp practice, I just want to give my quick thoughts on what I've heard and some of the clips that I've seen of training camp practice. So first off, in the one-on-one drills, they stated that AJ Terrell really stood out in one-on-one drills going up against those Miami Dolphins wide receivers. He almost had an interception, but the ball was knocked away as he went to the ground against the wide receiver of the Miami Dolphins in those one-on-one drills. But he really stood out and played really well during the one-on-one drills and also during the red zone drills. They stated that Troy Anderson, our Mike linebacker, a second-year linebacker, looked really good. He had a pick six during those red zone drills where he was able to intercept the ball and take it to the house. So that's really good to hear that Troy Anderson is picking up this defense and he's able to read the quarterback's eyes and know where to be on the field. And it sounds like he's getting better and better and kind of understanding this Ryan Nielsen scheme. So that's great news to hear that our defense played really well during those drills, those red zone drills. They said Breon Borders also came away with an interception against the backup quarterback for the Miami Dolphins in those red zone drills as well. And they said that our defensive line looked really dominant today. They said that we were able to control the line of scrimmage. Even though you're not doing live tackling, there was a couple plays where they blew the plays dead because our defensive line was able to dominate the offensive line of the Miami Dolphins. They said that Zach Harrison and Arnold Ebiketie were two guys that were putting pressure on the quarterback pretty much all day today. And those guys looked really good getting after the quarterback against that Miami Dolphins offensive line. And they also stated that our defensive line looked really dominant in the one-on-one drills against the offensive line of the Miami Dolphins. So with that being said, I definitely will have a lot more content coming for you guys in regards to training camp and these practices that we're having jointly with the Dolphins. They also did mention in practice today in the one-on-one drills, our wide receivers, Mac Hollins, really stood out. They stated that he had a one-handed catch, and he was talking a little bit of trash talk in one of the highlights that I seen that was on Twitter. And Mac Hollins had a really good day against the Miami Dolphins opposing defenders. He is a former Miami Dolphin, so I did think that he kind of took this practice personally, and he was doing a little jawing with the cornerbacks and secondary of the Miami Dolphins. But they did show Drake London as well going up against, I believe, Xavier Howard, where Xavier Howard was called for holding or PI in those one-on-one drills. But they did state that there was a lot of flags thrown and it was a really physical practice during those one-on-one drills. Things got really physical and it was a little bit sloppy being that this is the first joint practice or first live like ammunition flying being that the first game, preseason game, is not until Friday. They did say that both teams was a little bit overzealous as far as being aggressive and things of that nature, and trying to go out there and compete. Good news is there weren't any fights from what I'm hearing in this joint practice, because we know that sometimes joint practices can get out of hand. But it did sound like our Atlanta Falcons, they did get better today. As the players always state, you want to get 1% better each day, and it does sound like from from what took place today at this joint practice, it was iron sharpening iron. Our best against their best, and I'm looking forward to day 2 to see how our players go out there and perform tomorrow in the second joint practice as we ramp up for this first preseason game. But with that being said, you guys give me your thoughts on this first training camp practice. You give me your thoughts on what you may have seen or what you thought about how our players looked out there. And before I end the video, I also want to mention Bijan Robinson. He did have a touchdown as well. I seen a quick highlight on Twitter as well of him making a touchdown catch in those red zone drills that they were doing. So with that being said, this being your boy Jew, I have a lot more content coming for you guys. But as always, Falcons Nation, rise up, be blessed, peace.